Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is our Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday night flight. As you can tell, we down the big guy KG, but down the boss B. So now it's just the tag team, the Midnight Rider, the Gentleman Jack, Ebony and Ivory, whatever else you want to call us. We're gonna give you a good show. We got a couple topics we want to get into. Of course, one of the first things we're going to touch today, the Nationals and the Orioles, the Masson split. Kind of get into some of the details of that. The question of the night, where we're talking about how would you feel if Pete Rose was elected to the Hall of Fame? We got the Tuesday night staple, the JC College Basketball Top 10. And then to close the show out, we got some random NFL news and notes just to keep you updated as we get close to the start of the new league year. With all that being said, again, I'm your host, the Midnight Rider. That's the Gentleman Jack. Jack, how you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. Beautiful day out there today in our parts of the woods, neck of the woods, I should say. Damn near, I think we hit 60 degrees today, man. That was nice.
Yeah, we were about 58.
Yeah, if I was still stroking, I'd have been on the golf course today.
I was just about to ask you that too. I didn't know if you still swung them or not.
All my boys were texting me. I was like, man, nah, I'm trying to get my legs back, man. When I get my legs back, I'd like to get back out there. I got probably another surgery to do.
So you can't do it with a brace or anything?
I won't be able to walk the next day.
I got you.
I mean, that whole evening would be miserable with pain. It's bone on bone. It's pretty bad stuff in that knee. And like I say, I got one done. Feels excellent. Some insurance issues, complicated things of getting the second one done this year, but it will happen this fall.
Real quick, Matt, with a weather update for us. He said it's 60 here too.
What?
Thursday, we got snow and 32. Ouch.
Yeah. 60 in Cleveland this time of year, boy, that's a blessing. Because it gets cold as hell up there, Midnight Rider. I went up there for Thanksgiving one time, like 8 inches of snow, 12 degrees, Lake Erie looking wicked. I said, nah.
I'm good.
Well, the only cool thing was I was in a 30,000 square foot mansion, so I just stayed inside. Thank you to Sherry Pfeiffer, Sherry Kubu. That's my sister-in-law. Much love.
Well, let's start with the breaking news earlier this week. I think it broke Monday. Yeah. The Washington Nationals and the Baltimore Orioles have finally come to an agreement on their Masson TV deal. Basically, the gist of the deal is that they figure out the money. I think the Nats get a majority of the money that's owed to them. So they're guessing it's about $320 million. The Nats will receive most of that. The other thing they get is, again, it's a majority. So it's going to depend on, the way I heard it today, it depends on some of the valuations. And once the valuations come back for the last 2 years, what they think the TV money would be, they'll get a portion of that. The other piece to this is the Nats signed a 1-year deal with Masson to have them do their game production for one more season. Then after that, they're free agents. They get to set up their own TV deal. What am I missing on this? The next piece is the Nationals have to, I guess, get rid of or give up their 30% share in the Masson network. And that's pretty much it, man. So it looks like right now we get a team in Washington that gets some money back, or is going to get some money, and hopefully they'll invest in the franchise, operate with some new freedoms that they didn't have before. This may even lead to a sell of the team. What's your thoughts, Jack?
This beef has been going on for a long time over these rights, correct, Midnight Rider?
Correct. So the deal was, it was supposed to only be like a 15-year setup or a 10-year setup, because Bud Selig decided to bend to Peter Angelos, who was crying about losing customers, losing a share of his market. Mm-hmm. And so that's how the Nats TV deal came under them. It was probably the second shadiest deal that Bud Selig had in his tenure. The first one is the one where he magically moved the Milwaukee Brewers to the National League Central and the Houston Astros to the AL West. But
Well, he was dealing with a shady lawyer. You know what I mean? Angelos was always, I thought, greedy, in my opinion. I mean, never put no money into his ball team. But if you got to put money into something that's going to make him money, like this network and stuff, Angelos wanted it all, is the way I saw it.
yeah,
And I didn't understand it completely, but you do explain it to me. I know Nats fans used to always complain. I never understood it. There was a MASN 1 and a MASN 2. I thought 1 was for the Birds and 2 was for the Nats, but they didn't work it like that, though. Huh?
yeah. And then, I mean, just the amount of money they put into production alone. I mean, if you watch some of the games, you would think it was public access. Some of the Nats games and the production they put into it or the time they put into it.
Gotcha.
They only did like a 20-minute pregame show. Like they put no effort into putting on these games. It was pretty much, let's do it for the cheapest we can. Let's hold this over their heads. I think the idea and the reason that Selig was so comfortable doing the deal at first is because he thought that Angelos, not to be crass, but I think he felt like Angelos wasn't going to live that long for it to affect the deal. And it ended up, just the deal ended up going forever, much longer than he had anticipated. And then the part where Angelos just refused to give up the money was the most annoying part.
Right.
He's like, just pay the people. And then because he's a lawyer and this is what he does, we decided to tie everything up in court fees and everything else. This guy, Rubenstein, that just purchased the Orioles, one of his first statements, I'll give him credit for this. He's like, it cost me more money to tie this up in court, than actually just coming to a point where we make a deal and we walk away from this. You get your freedom and you get your money or whatever, however we decide this. So I knew it was inevitable. The good thing is it happened, and now we can move on to something else. The questions next are ownership. Do they sell? Do they stay? And do they actually put money in the team? So let's see. Here we go. Matty K with more weather update. I was out in shorts today. Gotta love that.
Yeah, your Daisy Dukes on, Matty.
And then we have another one from Matty. How much money the O's made on the Nats is ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, we got a pool right now at $340 million that has to get split up. So they're figuring that detail out right now as we speak. Here we go with KG. From assignment, Monumental comes calling. I think that's two ways. I think one, in terms of the TV deal, but I think two, now that we have some things that we know are going to happen, like we know what the TV structure is kind of going to be, I think it becomes easier for the learners to sell if they want to sell. And that's the key. The other two things that I forgot to mention is there's already talks about naming rights for Nats Park being something that's on the table finally. We'll see how far that goes. And then the other one is sponsorship on the jerseys. You know how all the teams, some teams have something on the jersey from some company, or that's another revenue source. And I think with all that being told, we're looking at about $20 million that the Nats can infuse in the franchise just by doing those two things. Not even talking back about the money or whatever deal they negotiate. So it's going to get real interesting in that regard. Let's see. Maddie again. LA, New York, Chicago was able to figure out. Absolutely right. But I think the thing was Angelos wanted to get as much as he could out of this to cover himself. It wasn't about anything else. It was all about Angelos. And that's what we got. He got a deal that was catered to him by Bud because they knew that Washington was the only answer. And he knew that Washington was the only answer. So he had them over a barrel. They weren't going to Nashville or anything like that over DC.
Right.
So that's kind of where it ends up at. Jack Wagner checks in. What's up, fellas? What's up, Jack?
What's up, J-Dub? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes real interesting in that regard. That the Nats do become free agents. KG just said it. Monumental's an option. Just knowing what you can get from a financial standpoint, I think it makes it easier now for the books. I even heard that this season, one of the projections off of 2023, I'm sorry, is that the Nats cleared a profit of about 63 million. So that's before doing all this other stuff.
Man.
So if they're clearing that, A, they're doing this wrong because they should be investing some of that money into the team. And B, they should get a nice windfall of more cash coming in. If they're operating at 60 now, you at 20 that now you're looking at maybe 80. I know cost goes up, but
that's big money though, man. That's big money. Big time money.
KG comes in again. This is gonna be his thing. Monumental can be the new home team sports.
I've hardly even watched Monumental, to tell you the truth.
Wizards, Nats, and Caps. Well, the only thing that kills me with Monumental is they have this thing called Wizards Classics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, well, what are the Wizards Classics if you're like the worst team in the last 25 years? What games are classics?
It must be games from the 70s.
We got like all the games from like Arenas and Company, maybe a season of John Wall and them. That's it.
Yeah, losing the mic and them.
Right. Oh man, Matt.
That was a good series though, man. Washington wasn't supposed to even compete with Chicago in that series, man.
No, they weren't.
And they could have got it. But
here we go, Matty K. More money, more money, more money.
Grab the bag, Matty. Grab the bag.
And then JoJo chimes in. What's going on, JoJo? Let's go Nats.
Boom. Go Birds.
Man, I don't know, man. It's a long time coming. I just can't wait to see how it plays out. What we get going forward. Definitely, things change. I mean, goodness gracious.
So
go ahead.
Monumental is a channel TV that Washington sports come on. Is that what y'all saying?
Yes.
Never. What I say, you know my deal. I'm not gonna go into that. So I don't have to go to those local channels with the stream I have, so I don't know what they are. And Masson doesn't hurt me, doesn't help me. Monumental, I didn't even know about it. I think I watched it once. So it just should have been straightened out years ago. And the numbers wouldn't be this damn big if it was taken care of years ago. So,
well, and then the other part of it that's going to be funny is watching the two teams function like responsible ball clubs. I think you're going to get a much better product from the Orioles in terms of coverage with this Rubenstein guy. He's more of a businessman. I think actually Washington's area is coming to a point now where they've got better owners in place, and you're going to get better products for like Commanders. You're already seeing it. You're seeing a better product on the field, and as we just keep going with this, we get a better thing for our fans of the local teams.
Well, answer me this. Now that we're on local teams, is Leonsis still in with the Wizards?
Yes. So he's got the Wizards and the Caps, and both teams play on Monumental.
I thought to see better things. I thought to see him do more once Poland was gone. Poland wasn't terrible. It's just the GMs we've had with the Wizards that's been killing us, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right. I mean, think about it. Ernie Grunfeld was the king of making a mess and then cleaning up his own mess, and like he did something. Like, no, you can't get executive of the year for fixing your mess up. But that's how he acted at times, man.
Yeah. So Wizards got. I mean, I know JoJo gonna say rebuild and all that, but they've been rebuilding a long time, man. And I wish them to hopefully turn it around the way the Washington's football team has. That'd be good. Because it's been a while since we've had multiple sports winning. I think, what was it? The Caps and the Mystics maybe were the last time we had multiple.
You're absolutely right.
teams winning. So
that sparked KG wanting to call this the town of champions or something like that.
the city of champions. Yeah, nah, I can't go with that.
Nah, we're not there yet.
No.
Any final thoughts before we get out of this?
Nah, I mean, like I just said, it's way overdue that this agreement has been made. That's all I.
All right. Well, while the big guy's on assignment, he did give us an assignment with his question of the day. The question of the night is real simple. With the executive orders from the president and the review from MLB, are you okay with Pete Rose going into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, let's take the first part of your question. Am I okay? Yeah and no. I mean, should have already been there. Like I say, what he did against the rules, yes. But him and Selig, isn't that who initially suspended him? Bud Selig?
Nah, it was
Giamatti?
Huh?
Was it Giamatti?
Yeah.
Okay. Him and Giamatti didn't see eye to eye. Pete was he was like a prima donna before we knew what prima donnas were. Pete wanted his shit his way. In the locker room, everything had to be the way he wanted it. And he called the shots on the field. I mean, he was a big dog. And I don't think Giamatti liked that. And they butted heads. And then he had another incident besides the gambling thing that pissed Giamatti off. I can't remember what it was, but I just don't. Everybody thought when Selig came in that Pete was going to be allowed, but he held true to Giamatti's word. I don't know how I feel about it being a humongous Pete Rose fan. I mean, it's all over there, dude, on my wall. I don't want him to go like this. I don't. I think if it does happen, there should be a bunch of Pete Rose fans there just protesting friendly for the hell of it, saying Pete should have been here already. Not, being nasty, but there should be a fan protest if he does go in just to let him know that Pete should have already been there. The best hitter in baseball, period. And I showed a stat the other day. He's the only player to have several hundred hits from 5 different positions.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That was amazing. I want to say it was 200. I have over 200 hits in 5 different positions. I mean, Charlie Hustle could play anywhere, man. I'm surprised he ain't never put the gear on and get behind the plate. But
I thought he did.
He was a tough son of a bitch. He played all the infield, and he played right and left, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
He played everything except short, I think. First, second, third, left, right.
All right. Well, before I give my answer, let's hit some comments.
Yeah.
Everybody involved, engaged.
Yeah, sorry to drag that on, y'all, but it's just.
No, you ain't dragging that on.
I'm a big Pete Rose fan. I mean, I wore number 14 till I was probably 12, 15 years old, and watched as many of his games as I could back then, because it wasn't like today you can see every game. But yeah, let's get to these comments, man. I've talked enough about that.
Let's see. Where am I?
We got a lot of them on this one.
Yeah, I'm missing somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where I left off at. Let's go right here with Matt. Let's start with Maddie.
But Ted
hasn't found the guys to run the Wizards like he has the Caps.
Correct.
I think this group here, this group that's doing the rebuild this time, I think this is his best chance, his best group of people in terms of basketball minds. Mm-hmm. But the problem is the PTSD that is built up from all the losing before. It's hard to tell a Wizards fan, and this is why I know I get in these arguments, is because you can't tell somebody, a team that's been losing all their lives, that you're rebuilding. Like, it's like what you've been doing the other 20 years. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm right there with you on that one.
Yeah,
it kills me.
it's a constant rebuild if you keep doing it like that.
Oh man.
Having grade 8 didn't hurt either. Heck yeah.
My boy on fire. He balling.
Here we go. Why not? You have 4 champs. That's KG, Mystics.
We're gonna start skipping him.
And Valor. Wasn't that the
okay?
team?
Okay, the professional lacrosse team won too. All right. I mean, you're getting nitsy pitsy now. We talking.
He says no. I don't know what that's in regard to. He'll probably tell us. Back to Jack.
KG might as well jump in.
Nah, he probably under the weather. He just tired.
Who's Johnny
Jack
Baseball?
Wagner says yes, Johnny Baseball. Should have. I think he means Charlie Baseball. Isn't that what you call Pete?
Charlie Hustle.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything other than what many people have done before him. Let's see, what's this next one? They just didn't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the numbers, but how can you prove he didn't bet on his own games? That's true.
Cincinnati didn't suck. I mean,
he should have been there years ago.
Agree, Jack.
Wow, this name looks familiar. Jeff Ricker.
Yeah, Jeff Ricker will be a guest in the passenger seat in a couple of weeks. I look forward to chopping it up with Jeff. Jeff is a former high school coach at DeMatha and Patuxent down in Southern Maryland. I may have missed some things. I haven't really got his whole resume to me yet, but yes, Mr. Jeff Ricker will be in the passenger seat in a couple of weeks. People look forward to it.
Let's see, what did I do here? Let's go. He deserves to be in. That's Jeff's comment.
Mm-hmm. Skip.
Give me my flowers while I can smell them. John Thompson Jr. is absolutely right. It's appropriate because now we got to put Pete in, and he's not going to be there for the ceremony or anything like that. That's the hard part.
Pete would have been so gracious and humbled to do that, man. I tell you, he moved to Vegas just to make a living. Yeah. Seriously, doing shows and signings, and
right.
That's what he did, man. He had to do that to make a living.
Pete should have been in before he died, just for his career. All Pete probably had to do was eat some crow. Sincerely apologize and probably would have been in, but he couldn't do it. I think that's part of the ego. That's also part of the relationship with Giamatti. Mm-hmm. Rick Peacock should be in the hall.
Now, Midnight Rider, we got another in the passenger seat guest coming in tonight live. Rick Peacock will be with us tomorrow, Midnight Rider. He is a former Carolinian, Coach Martha, Pilati, Bowie, New Carrollton. This man's resume is amazing. I can't wait to have him on the show tomorrow, guys. So everybody else is watching, tune in tomorrow, man. We got Rick Peacock on here. Great high school coach.
Now, isn't Rick the one that gave us some love posting on his page, telling people to check us out?
Yes, he did.
Thank you for that.
He gave us a review, a nice review. So, yeah, Ricky's in our corner, man. Great guy.
Oh, not best hitter, but longest career hitter.
All right, James, who's the best hitter, bro?
I can see 2 names.
Rockaroo, Tony Gwynn.
Well, then now we got 4.
No, you shouldn't have had 2 others, Junior.
Ichiro.
Nope.
Ichiro came here at like 29 and got.
I'm not counting his Japanese shit. This is MLB.
I'm talking about his MLB.
Not Pete Rose, dude.
Barry Bonds.
I don't think he's over Tony Gwynn.
Okay.
I put Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn number 2 and 3.
Okay.
Bonds, 7, 8.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
I mean, I ain't got if I had my mind tuning, I'd throw you 3 more that are in front of Bonds, man.
All right.
We got to do a list on that once baseball starts. How's that sound?
Let's do it before baseball, because baseball starts, the 27th of the month? So we should be...
It's less than 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah, so we should got to do that soon.
Now we're going to get busy because the tournaments start next week, too, in basketball. So y'all ain't going to keep me away from talking about the tournaments.
All right. KG, again, the Wizards are like Minnesota. Minnesota Ave. I don't know about that one.
Minnesota Ave, not Minnesota.
Oh, I know
Ball
why.
Team,
Because
Frank.
Minnesota Ave is always under construction. I got
Always bumpity bump, y'all. Minnesota Avenue.
you. Jack Wagner, yes.
Yes to you too.
Good job from Miss V.
I ain't got all mine up.
Trump pardoned Pete Rose over the weekend. I'm not sure for what.
I know
neither are we.
About that.
Jeff Ricker says Tony Q for sure.
Oh, Tony Gwynn's what he's saying, I think.
Okay. There's James King, Tony Gwynn.
It's a Y.
Matt Williams is another name he mentions. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It's the Tuesday night flight, baby.
Career average is what? I'm not sure. I don't know what his career average is.
MR.
Yo.
That one guy screen name. That's different.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Huh. Tell us what that's about, Daniel. Let me know. I might check you out.
All right. Let's get back to just to finish up the question because I never gave my answer. But I think if you heard me comment, you kind of know where I feel. I thought Pete should be in there. Yeah. I think there's no way, there's no sport or no other sport that has punished its two best players for incidents off the field. And for some reason, baseball has made it its mission to have its career hits leader and its home run leader not in the Hall of Fame.
Home run leader was your other guy.
So those I just can't understand it. I don't get it, but it is what it is at this point.
He getting screwed like Joe Jackson got screwed.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Let's see what else we got. Man, they love it. Let's see. Pete, like LeBron, longest career, not best. He was correct in the other part when he was talking about average. I knew what you meant, James. We good on that. It was a lifetime ban. I believe that ban has expired. Makes sense. I didn't even think about that part of it, Scooter.
Yeah, Pete's a 303 lifetime.
And then Richard Farley said,
"Oh, what's up?"
They say when the ball was hit, Pete Rose could tell you exactly where the ball would go and land. Wow.
True. Let me step here, Midnight Rider. We got a bunch of new guests tonight, and I've been networking, trying to, get all my friends to help out. This here, man, this Richard Farley, that's my next door neighbor, man, from when 3 years old on up, 4 years old on up, Awesome, Rich. What's up, buddy? Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Midnight Rider. That touched me there.
All right, that's what's up, man. And James just confirmed you, 303.
Yeah, but look at the amount of hits, man. It's nuts. And you're going to give me the LeBron shit on there. Man, people have been playing 20 years in MLB for a long time. Ain't nobody ever done what LeBron's doing.
There you go. I think he's finishing off the story talking about when the ball was hit.
Yeah. Oh, he'd hit it in your back pocket. He'd tell you. That's why I knew he'd be a great coach because, he just has so much knowledge and he could hit that ball anywhere he wanted. I'd love to see him do infield, outfield practice. Because that's what my dad used to say. Turn around, I'll hit it in your pocket.
Rich comes back with, yes, we learned a lot about sports from each other.
We did. We battled each other, man. He had a court in his backyard. We had a wiffle ball field in his backyard, football field in his backyard, because his yard ain't had no fence, so we could play both yards.
And then Jamie's jumped in with Ernie.
Yeah, you getting up there, Jamie. Ernie Banks is in my top 5, maybe.
All right, so you got the notepad because I don't have my pad near me.
What do you want?
Let's write that down. Top 5 hitters. And then
we're talking hitters. We're not talking home run hitters.
Talking about top 5 hitters.
Okay.
And you know what? When we do it, I got a Bond story I heard the other day. Actually, I'll say it now.
Great.
So Bonds hits a home run there. I guess the Giants are on the road at the time. He hits a home run to put him within 1 home run of Willie Mays. They have another 4 games on this road trip. Bonds turns to what's the catcher? God, I can't think of his name right now. He turns to the catcher and says, "Hey, for the rest of the way, I want to break this in San Francisco. So I'm not going to hit a home run until we get back to San Francisco." He proceeds to hit doubles all over the park on this road trip. And at the end of the day, of course, they come back to San Fran. First at bat, first pitch, yard. Bonds goes, ties Willie Mays in San Francisco like he wanted to.
And Willie's his godfather, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think I saw that. Because wasn't Willie and his dad in attendance?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a nice production for him.
Yeah, I think I saw that. That was cool.
All right, here we go. Just a couple other cross conversations. Jamie asks Lefty. I'm not sure what that's on.
Talking about Ernie Banks, maybe?
Okay. You think LeBron better than Jordan career?
Yep.
Let's not get into that one.
Nope, I don't.
No, LeBron is more comparable to Magic, not Mike. Mike is the GOAT. That's interesting. It looks like we got another hotbed topic if we want to.
That's a good view. Let's go ahead and look at it. Like I said, man, Mike's 6-0, bro.
All right, but since we're talking,
Cat didn't win when the bright lights was. I mean, he didn't lose when the bright lights was on him, man.
Well, let's just go ahead and transition since we're talking hoops already.
Let's do it.
All right. So last night, during the game, Kyrie hurts his knee. I guess they walk him to the free throw line so he can shoot his free throws. He was a little emotional. I think he even was in tears a little bit.
Thought he tore his Achilles.
I have ACL.
Do you really? Okay.
Now, again, anybody in the comments you want to double check for us, fact check, please, because we're down a guy. But I thought it was ACL.
I got it.
And then
ACL, you're correct, sir.
Okay. All right. So he tore his ACL. I think he's 32 at the time right now. So he probably comes back late in the season next year, probably right around the All-Star break.
Got that, probably, yeah. It's gonna take a good year.
Yeah. Problem going to be like what's going to be left of him.
Well, and what's going to be left of the plan Dallas is trying to put in motion too, man. I mean, AD, he's still going to be out a couple more weeks with that ab problem. And now you got Kyrie gone.
Yep.
Who's running the show over there now? Somebody getting ready to get some point opportunities for Dallas.
Because every guy not named, what is it, Gafford?
Gafford and Lively still out for a week or two as well.
That's what I'm talking about. So anybody that's not named Gafford, Lively, Kyrie, or Davis, they're going to get some minutes. They're going to have plenty of time, plenty of shot opportunities. These guys are going to have all the time in the world and all the chances to do it. And this is one of the times I kind of like this because we see a lot of guys that are role players that at some point in their high school career or college career, they were the man. They can put up points or buckets.
Yes. All these NBA players were the man at one time, no doubt. Right. You see that with even old guys like Al Horford for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Man, in his younger days, he was an animal. And he's done it for us in the past, put up 30-point games. Same thing with Peyton Pritchard. You know, Peyton Pritchard ain't never lost. He ain't never been a loser. So it happens. But over in Dallas, the name I was thinking of is P.J. Washington. Yeah. He's been on a scoring surge lately, and if he gets more chances to go to the cup, and then Klay Thompson, of course, if he's healthy, I'm not sure. Let me check the depth. Nah, I don't even see Klay Thompson. Oh yeah, he's healthy. It's P.J. Washington. He's questionable, so I don't know who. Dinwiddie gonna get the points? Dinwiddie or Powell?
Hey, I'm telling you, all it is space and opportunity.
Somebody's going to get an audition, pretty much is what it'd be called. And nice if you was on the last year, too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so Dallas got audition time going because their stars are out.
Now, I heard this on the radio on my way in, and maybe you can tell me what you think. Sure. But since this trade has happened, Dallas has had Kyrie's injury. You've had Davis get hurt. And this all comes with them falling from the 4th spot to like 8 or 9 right now in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all after the trade for Luka. Is this karma? Is it just bad luck? Some people have called it a curse. What are your thoughts?
Well, Dallas had a game plan. Like I said a minute ago, they had a plan in place before they made the trade. And then, trade comes in. Now they got two megastars, a couple nice little Robin to Batman type players on the roster. And then, they were hoping to go into this draft and free agency and try to grab another one. They wanted to get KD is what they want. But I don't think KD is going to Dallas. I don't think KD will play with Kyrie again. So I keep hearing it on television, on SportsCenter and all that. I don't think KD leaves Phoenix. I think he wants a ship there, but it ain't going to happen.
Wow. Okay.
So,
give me an eyeball to the comments because let's hop in there because I see we have 15. So it looks like these things.
After Jeff, Jack say Kyrie's out. We can go Scott, I reckon.
That's Hank and Willie. All right, let's go here.
Yeah, the rest we already kind of talked about. There it goes.
Let's see. Let's go here. Let's start with Jack Wag. Yes, Kyrie's out for the year with a torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Just confirming we were talking about. Jumping back into baseball real quick. Hank Aaron and Willie Mays hitting over 600 home runs and batting over 300 is amazing against such great pitching.
I agree, but greatest hitters, I don't agree with that. I love Hank Aaron. I got Hank Aaron hanging on my wall signed. I love Hank. That's some of my earliest baseball, watching Hank Aaron. He used to come on, some Atlanta channel used to come on, like channel 50 or 53 back in the day. And I used to watch the Braves games. No, and Willie, they're both great, but they're not top hitters. I don't think that.
Okay. James King says ACL just confirmed for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lakers, number 2 seed.
Hottest in town, man. They are hot. Last I heard, they had 6 straight.
Something like that, yeah. Maddie says Dallas has fallen apart since the trade, and the Lakers are soaring. Totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
KG's so sad for Kyrie. I mean, I think he just comes at a crossroads of his career now. Richard Farley, I should say. It's almost like they are cursed. That's awful luck for Dallas. Maddie throwing his hat in the ring. LeBron versus Cleveland will be a must-see final.
Ain't happening. Go Celtics.
Richard cursed now. Yikes.
Yeah.
Let's get off of the baseball.
We're going to argue that all night.
Yes, indeed. Nico sold him out. I don't think he sold him out. I think he had a plan. See, this is the part I dislike about certain sports arguments is if he had a plan and he tried to execute his plan, if it failed, it just failed. It's just like the process in Philly. Philly's probably another team that you can consider either cursed or doomed by some of their decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think Embiid's out for the rest of the year. I don't know what they're going to do. But they gave him the bag. He's got the Supermax money. So they're in an even worse situation than Dallas. So that's going to be interesting for real. Rick, Klay Thompson came over to play with Irvin, Luka, and now he's left carrying the bag. Hey, I don't think he's going to be mad about it.
Yeah, no, he's going to get more shots now too. So
stupid trade sending Luka to LA.
Agree.
And then
it's like they wanted to make the Lakers better. Yeah, y'all take Luka, sure. Take the 25, 26-year-old. I'll take old-ass Davis. It just sounded like a backwards trade, but look who's smiling now. You know what I mean? Lakers
smiling. Exactly. Doncic and Kyrie made lots of those players on that team. Yikes. So when we talk about this, you can hit the next one if you got access to it.
I see Jamie. Yes, he was. He was a nasty He was a nasty son bitch too, boy. I heard he was nasty. But yeah, I agree. Ty Cobb was a great hitter. He's up here in my top. He's in my top something.
See, since I didn't see a lot of these guys, I'm gonna try to stay with the guys I saw.
I agree. But I heard lots of stories about the man. Read books.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I heard he was an
animal. We got a nice cross spot of hitters and players, and I think when we get in these moves where we think, oh, who's going to take over for this sport or whatever, I think we're just doing the young guys a disservice because there are players that are there to take over and take the next step. Like, we haven't missed a beat completely in basketball. We may not like some of the things in basketball, but I mean, we're going to see the playoffs. We're going to love the playoffs. We're going to sit there and watch Boston try to repeat. We're going to try to see LA try to get back into the picture.
Try to get up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not be in the play-in game.
Well, we're not in the play-in game, bro.
You know, they the defending 2 years ago mid-season tournament.
You can't be a defending champion if the new champ has been crowned.
They're 2 years ago mid-season tournament champion. And they hung a banner for it.
And the other team hung a banner for it too. Calm down, Jack.
Banner. In Boston, we just hang real banners, baby.
Ted Williams, aka the Splitter, of course. Anything else in terms of the hoops before we get to the star of the show for this evening? Anything else basketball notes-wise that you can think of?
Them Cavaliers still staying on top. Surprised me, man. I thought they were going to drop after the All-Star break, and they got Boston the other day. Boston came out 25-2 off tip. 25-2 off the tip.
Well, if you watched Drive Time yesterday, If you watched Drive Time yesterday, Matty Ice gave a nice recap.
I didn't want to see that.
He gave a nice recap of your conversation with him and the comeback.
Oh, he did say I hit him up on 25-2?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I blew his ass up. 25-2 out the gate. I was happy as hell. And next thing you know, I hit him back. Oh, they getting close, man. He was at a hockey game, so he was just checking his phone, and I was razzing him. God darn it, why'd I do that?
Well, he said at the end I guess towards the end of the game, and again, if you want to see this story in full, Drive Time Monday nights, you go to our Sideline Junkies YouTube page. You can also see it there. It's the latest show that we've added to our YouTube page, so it should be right at the top. But yeah, Matty goes into a great story. Talks about how everybody at the game started checking their phone. It was like there was a buzz in the building because at first it was the score, the 25-3, but then it was like, oh, they're getting close. Oh, they're getting close. And then he said when they left the game,
they heard a roar.
It was just sheer madness outside of Cleveland. So
yeah, I texted him and said, "Oh man, they got us." He goes, "Yeah, I figured that. I heard a big roar," and I was like, "Yep, yeah, they got us by 3, I think, 2 or 3." It was a one-shot game. Pissed me off, man. Because what happened? Missoula left subs on the court too long, is my opinion on how Boston lost that game. Second half, I didn't feel the starting lineup was on the court enough. You look at the stats the next day. You know, they're still playing 30-some minutes, but it just didn't seem like Missoula matched the lineup that was on the court for Cleveland. He would have backups with Cleveland starters on the court, and I don't know. I know Boston thinks they're deep, and maybe Missoula's trying to trust his backup squad. You know, the second 5 or second 3 or 4, but I felt he kept them on the court too long, and you know that's not going to happen come playoff time. Benches get shorter, time goes up. So, like I say, I don't feel that Boston's any different of a team than they were last year when they won the title. So I just think they're going through champions low. They're kind of bored with it. Let's get going. Let's get playoffs is what I think Boston wants. So, but Cleveland was sized to beat Boston. They were sized.
All right, folks.
Yep.
Well, with that being said, let's get to the reason for the Tuesday night show, non-football season. Some people call it the Gentlemen's Club, but it's the JC Top 10 for college basketball, where our guy Jack gives you his version of the top 10. There's no AP influence. It's basically what Jack Carr thinks. So, Jack Carr, tell him how you feel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. AP poll, coaches poll. It's not like mine, man. This is the way I see it. And at the top of my poll, again, I think this third week straight since they dropped off a little bit, is the Auburn Tigers at 27-2.
Confirmed.
SEC regular season champ Auburn Tigers. So congratulations to Auburn on locking up the regular season title. Chad Baker Mazar, he had a big night, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And he was 4 for 5 on threes in the 106-76 victory over Ole Miss the other day and Johnny Broome, he's the Naismith Award nominee. He came through with a strong game, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Johnny Broome everybody knows about him, man. You like Johnny Broome's game, don't you, Midnight Rider?
Yep. Who's your
bang?
After your number 2, I got a question for you.
Okie doke, Smoke. In the next game that Auburn had, Miles Kelly scored a season-high 30 points on 9 for 14 from 3. The Baker Mazara, he chipped in for 22, 2 steals and a block as the Tigers beat then number 17 Kentucky, 94-78. That was a nice game, but Auburn just pulled away. First half was pretty solid. Auburn just pulled away. And Miles Kelly was just shooting, man. 9 for 14, man. Your arm going to be tired. He was shooting. So up next for Auburn is number 22, Texas A&M, tonight, 9 p.m. on ESPN. So that's going to be a good game, I think. Watch out for Texas A&M. They've been stumbling a little bit, but, them teams that stumble, sometimes they'll come back and kick you, So watch out for them. And then Saturday, I tell you, this week, end of the weekend, we're leading into tournament play. Tournament play starts next week in the conferences. So there's a lot of top matchups going to happen in the final 2 games of the season. And one of them is going to be Saturday. Auburn plays number 7, Alabama. Alabama's been as high as number 2 in my poll.
Yep.
So they play Saturday at 2:30 on ESPN, and that will end the regular season for Auburn. So I'm definitely going to try and peep that game right there to follow, see what Auburn can do. But coming in at number 2 is the Duke Blue Devils at 26-3. Man, Cooper Flagg went off on possibly his last home game. Possibly. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, Midnight Rider. I'm drinking that blue Kool-Aid because I want Coop to come back. He said a little jibber-jabber in an interview 2 weeks ago, oh, man, this is fun. I want to come back. But I don't think he's going to do it. Knappel might stay, but he can go too and probably be a first rounder with his height and his shooting ability and his defense. Khan is a beast. If y'all haven't seen Knappel play. But Cooper went in and had 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 3 for 6 from 3-pointers. You know what I call that, Midnight Rider?
I don't. What do you call it?
That's a stat sheet filler right there, baby. Stat sheet filler. Boy, that's a hell of a game for your final game at Cameron, man. They beat Wake Forest 93-60 in front of 9,300 at Cameron that night. So they filled that place up for Coop's last game at home. Up next, we got North Carolina Saturday at 6:30 on ESPN. It doesn't even feel good. It doesn't even feel like Carolina week to me. I don't know. You never know, though. It don't matter what their records are, what their seeds are. When Duke Duke and Carolina play, man. But I got a feeling it's going to be the same as a couple weeks ago when we met in Durham. So I don't expect much out of that game. I expect Duke to roll into a number 1 seed in the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. So we'll see how that plays out. Coming in number 3.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, you had a question after 2. Let's talk.
Yeah, because see, this is a little thing, you know. You set it up. You got to set it up every now and then. So Johnny Broome, Cooper Flag. Who's the JC
man
most outstanding player or player of the year in that regard? And if you're in the comments, Broome, Flag. If you got somebody else,
you got Sears over there in Alabama.
Yeah.
He's balling. That boy over there at Tennessee is balling. I forgot his name, but it'll probably come up here soon. Will Richard at Florida's balling. But I think this is me looking at it, not going with the media hype and all that, but I think media hype is going to get involved in this because I think Johnny Broome edges out Coop for National Player of the Year.
Okay. Now let me take this from you.
His numbers are, I mean, he averages a double-double. He's probably 19 and 11, I think Broome averages. Coop averages something like 18 and 7 or 8. But Coop does a lot more than that. He kicks the assist out. He blocks shots. It's going to be a tight one, man. But I think the media, with the whole hype of Coop, should be a senior in high school right now.
So here's
he got what's it called? You play
he
reclassified.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think Johnny Broome is going to edge him out, man. But I think the media wants Flag.
All right, so here's the better question, because here at the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, let's say you're the guy responsible for our vote for the National Player of the Year. What's the name you are putting on the ballot? Let's not talk about the media. Let's not talk about everybody else. Jack Carr writing his ballot right now. What's the name that you're putting on there?
To win?
To win the Player of the Year.
Right now, Broome.
Okay.
It's hard to say. It's hard for me to say that because I do. I love Cooper Flag. I can't wait to see what else he grows into, man. I mean, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
Putting up mad number. And he's a great teammate. He's a good person. I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch this young man grow up.
Jeff jumps in, says Duke.
Yes, sir.
That stuffer.
That's a good one, Jack. I like that.
Hey, that's why y'all boys.
Stat filler.
Yep. Cooper Flag. Go ahead and finish out because I left you off at
who you got, Jeff? Who you got for Player of the Year, Jeff? And even Jamie or any of you guys. James, who y'all got? I see Out of Bounds is here. What's up, Out of Bounds? Who's that?
You know who that is.
Oh, KG Punk. All right.
That's KG's burner account.
I'm going to pick up
number 3.
At the number 3 spot. And this team been in our top 10 all season, I believe, because we was excited to begin the year to hear this name even up there. And we can go back 5 Slamma Jamma. We can do the number 3 Houston Cougars 2025 version here, baby. They're 25-4. They've won 9 straight, baby. LJ Cryer is putting that team on his back and balling. I mean, he's got some little guys on his work with him, but LJ Cryer is the heartbeat of this team. He had 20 points, and number 3 Houston clinched their second straight Big 12 title with a 73-64 victory over Cincinnati on Saturday. Cryer, I mean, he just does what he wants, man. And then last night, you know, the Big 12 plays on Monday nights. Last night, Houston defeated Kansas 65-59. Cryer had 22 in that with 3 steals, and that's their, as I said, their 9th straight win. Up next for Houston is a tough Baylor team. They're not in the top 25 anymore, but they're still a tough team to get by. They play them Saturday, 10 p.m. ESPN. That's one of them late night games you can check out. Come home from, out there having a good time. Watching basketball on ESPN. So number 4, Florida Gators. Florida Gators, give them a chop. Florida Gators 25-4. You know this team's been on my radar since day one.
Yep.
They are a sweet playing team, and I still ain't seen that big old 7'80" boy play yet for Florida. They got a kid over there. I'm telling you, man, he might be 7'20". He's a lot of 7-footer. I think that they might redshirt. I think they redshirted him this year, but he's like 7'8", man. Y'all gotta see that. Google him. Will Richards scored 25 points with 6 3-pointers, and Thomas Hall had 17 points as Florida defeated then number 12 Texas A&M Saturday. Score was 89-70, and they played that game in Gainesville. They were rocking up there, man. Gainesville is pumped because Gainesville, that's football country, man. They gotta go back to that Billy Donovan stuff and to see some winning Florida ball. So I'm happy to see Florida back up top. Up next, they got a big game with Alabama, number 8 Alabama, 7 p.m. Wednesday on ESPN2. And then Saturday, they got their finale with Ole Miss, 6 p.m. SEC Network. Florida's an exciting team to watch. This whole top 10 is an exciting group to watch, man. And I like it that there's different names up there this year than we had the previous couple years. Your Kansas, your Kentuckys, they're all down, man. Yep. You got teams, like I said, Houston, St. John's, who is coming in at number 5. The Johnnies are 26-4. Yes, sir. I gave them a nice jump. I gave them a nice jump to get them into my 10 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to give them another nice jump. They're going to come in number 5 at 26-4. Big East regular season championship locked up for St. John's. It's been 33 years since they won a regular season Big East title. So that's more than half my life. So St. John's is being led by a guy named R.J. Lewis. He's monster, man. He scored 24 points, and St. John's hung on to beat Butler 76-70 last Wednesday. Butler gave him a scare, but they was able to hang on. You know how at the end of the game you get the foul shots and all the fouls, and it makes 20 seconds last 30 minutes. Yeah. That's where it kind of ended up, and they were really beating them by more than that. So Saturday, St. John's had their game moved. Their game was moved to Madison Square Garden, and RJ had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Stat sheet stuffer right there. That's a badass game. And that was a victory over Seton Hall in front of 20,000 at Madison Square Garden. So that had to have been cool to play in that big old stadium. So up next for St. John's is number 20 Marquette, and that'll be Saturday at noon. Marquette's playing good ball too. They're second place in the Big East. They were fighting St. John's for a minute, but they had a couple little tumbles, and St. John's was able to secure the Big East regular season championship. Again, it's been 33 years since they won that championship. That's a long time. So, Midnight Ride, next I got a squad that me and you both like a little bit. I think we like the coach more. Number 6, Michigan State Spartans, coming in at 24-5. We both love Coach Izzo, and I'll tell you, tournament time, if Izzo's coaching the team, don't you dare count him out. Exactly. Izzo always going to be something to worry about. Izzo's got Trey Holloman over there. He made that buzzer beater from beyond midcourt to give Michigan State a 58-55 win over then number 16 Maryland in a sensational finish Wednesday night, man. Jace Richardson led the way for Michigan State with 15 points. I thought the Terps were going to get them. I really did. We had discussion on this Sunday, I believe. So I don't want to draw too much into it. I just think the ball player that had the ball late in the game for Maryland, I think it was Gillespie.
Yep.
Gillespie, the guard. And just think he didn't manage the time properly or got razzled and wasn't aware of the time because he put his shot up way too early. I mean, I know it was a beyond half-court shot, but Don't even give them that opportunity. It's a tie ball game. Your shot should be the last shot. So
I totally agree.
I'm leaning towards what Midnight Rider said. Learning moment.
Right.
I'll give it to you. All right. I know I was bucking you on Sunday, but I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. So it was a learning moment for the Terps. Like I say, the next game for number 5.
Stay here for 1 second.
Yes, sir.
With us, I think we just see the game differently at times, and we just like to express that we see it differently, especially with each other. But yeah, I think in that situation, I think Michigan State is showing you they're a solid team. But I want to see. There's a team I'm looking for, and I'll let you know when you get to them. So go ahead. I think we're on number.
I got some new meat at the bottom of my list. There's some fresh new meat down there, so you're gonna like it. Michigan State. Okay. And then after Michigan State beat Maryland, Jaden Atkins scored 19 points to lead State to a 71-62 victory over then number 11 Wisconsin. So yeah, Wisconsin's been playing some good ball lately. They really have. And Jackson Colder also had a career high 16 rebounds for the Spartans, and he had 10 points to make it a double-double, man. 16 rebounds, man. That's cleaning glass right there. I like it. So up next will be Thursday at Iowa, 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And then Sunday, Michigan State plays number 17 Michigan at noon on CBS. This game could be for the Big Ten Championship, y'all. So that might be a great game to watch. It's on at noon Sunday. And then coming up, number 7 spot, got the Tennessee Volunteers at 24-5. They defeated then number 6 Alabama Saturday, 79-76 with a buzzer-beating 3 by Jemai Mashik. Chaz Lanier led the way with 18 points. Mashik finished with 11.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Stat sheet filler. Up next for the Vols, they're going to go to Ole Miss at 9 p.m. on ESPN Wednesday, ESPN 2 actually, and then they got South Carolina Saturday 2 p.m. SEC Network. So you get a chance to check them Volunteers out for the last couple of games of conference play, and then we're going to bounce down to number 8, Alabama, 23-6. They lost to then number 7 Tennessee, 79-76. Mark Sears had 24 points in the loss. Mark Sears has really been carrying this team as well. You look at that score, I mean, Mark would have needed to have 30 points in order to have won that game. But up next for Alabama, they got number 4 Florida on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Should be a great matchup. And then to finish their gauntlet, I mean, I told you last week they had like 4 games to go through. Well, they got number 7 Tennessee, and then Wednesday they got number 4 Florida. I'm sorry, they got number 4 Florida Wednesday. Saturday they got number 1 Auburn. There could be a lot of mix-ups at the top of this, but I don't think there's going to be no mix-ups in the 1 seeds for the tournament. I think the 1 seeds are locked, man. I really do.
Hold on.
I just don't. No,
I'm just going to get you to the question.
Losing.
Out of bounds asks question for Jack. Does Auburn get a 1 seed? I want to ask a different question.
Yeah, they get a 1 seed.
Because I think they're automatic 1 seed unless they completely fall apart.
Yeah, unless they lose both games. They got 2 games left.
I think they got to lose more than that. I think they got to lose 2.
I agree.
Who would you have as your 4 1 seeds? I know we talked about this before.
Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida.
Okay. That's what I thought you had.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we had the same group.
Yeah, right now I got that.
Next one is Maddie says, I really like Houston. They may be my pick. You can't go wrong with that.
Their defense is incredible, man. They block, I want to say they block 9 shots a game. I mean, that's just an average. I seen one game where they blocked 15.
They just get after it.
They're long. Yeah, that's a scrappy ass team. There's several strong defensive teams, but there's several high octane offensive teams in this league too, with Auburn, Florida, Alabama. Alabama almost scores 90 points a game, so
And then
I like it.
J-Dub says Rick Pitino doing things with St. John's. I totally agree. What we have left? 9 and 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I guess 9?
You're probably gonna get it right.
I think you gotta like Clemson.
They was 10 last week. Yep.
What spot they in at?
Number 9 gonna be Clemson Tigers playing strong. I mean, they weren't getting no love for a long time. I mean, back when they were 15-2, they weren't even in the top 25. I mean, yep. I know the ACC is a tad bit weak this year. I admit it. ACC is not the strongest conference like it has been in years past, but Louisville just didn't get no love, man. And then they got in at 19 or so, and then they made another big jump. So I think that big jump was just saying, hey, my bad, y'all. You should have been in here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see Clemson getting the love. So
I think you were on Clemson when Clemson was just they weren't even in the top 25, and you were trying to figure out what was going on.
Exactly. And it was right after I went down to South Carolina, and I went to that Clemson game live, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why are they not ranked? And that's the way a lot of the folks were in the crowd too, because I was out there networking and talking, and they were just as blown away as me. But down there in Clemson, they don't cry about stuff like that. They just win. You know what I'm saying? They're not crybabies down there. So Ian Shefflin is the leader of this squad. He had a career high 24 points with 9 rebounds and 2 steals as Clemson won a single season record 15 ACC games with an 83-68 victory over Notre Dame last Wednesday. Victor Lukin had 18 points and 2 blocks in the victory. So he's playing pretty good with Ian too. Saturday, Ian put up 21 points to come from behind to beat UVA 71-58. 71-58. Kind of think they were behind. Yeah, UVA was up 5 at the half, and I think it went up to 9. And they were able to cut that lead and come out with a big victory, a 13-point victory after trailing. So that shows the heart Clemson has. And Clemson's another defensive team. They're long and tall, like I said. Up next, Clemson has Wednesday at Boston College, 7 p.m., ESPNU. If you want to see Clemson, that's the next chance you got to see them, man. I recommend check Clemson out. Might help you in picking out your brackets and stuff this year. So there's a lot of good ball coming on from today to the weekend that I think people should look at if you're trying to get serious about doing your NCAA brackets.
Before we go beyond that, let's not also forget that their conference tournament starting tomorrow. Some of our mid-majors and lower-level teams where only one team's going to get into the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So pay attention to your browsers or however you consume TV. There will be basketball. There will be tournament play.
Yep.
So, this is going to be one hell of a week, next 2 weeks. Actually, next month of basketball. I'm going to say it that way. Because I feel like after
the madness is getting ready to start.
Right.
Yes,
and I think
my favorite time of the year.
The first 4 weeks of the bracket, the first 4 games of the brackets, that's the opening to taking us to the Sweet 16.
Right, that whole week.
Most exciting. Most exciting. Doubt. And then the problem is people say, oh, we love Cinderellas, but when Cinderella gets into the Sweet 16 and later, they don't tend to watch Cinderella anymore. So it's interesting. I always love that dynamic because people say, oh, I like to cheer for the Cinderella team, but then they turn away because they're like, oh, that ain't nobody playing or whatever. So it's kind of a funny situation.
Oh, my wife picked the team one year, and I think it had to do with Catholic stuff. So she was like Villanova, Notre Dame, all them type of schools. It was the funniest bracket I ever seen filled out, man. But everybody fills their bracket out their own way, I I fill out 5 or 6 of them and enter them everywhere I can. I used to be pretty good, man. I won quite a few bracket challenges in my day, and Duke helped me do it. A couple of them.
And the show special, baby. Can't wait for the Deborah Cox teams. And for those that are new to the Sideline Junkies, we have a term. It's a song by Deborah Cox. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here is the words to the song. That's our March Madness special. When we see teams that are the 12 seeds in the Sweet 16 or whatever, we call those the Deborah Cox teams.
Got
Just
you.
a quick definition for you guys.
Got it.
March Madness, baby.
Well, Midnight Rider, we done gotten through 9 of my top 10 teams in this week's poll. Who do you think I got in the number 10 spot? 10. I don't think you'll ever guess this one.
I don't think I will either.
Ever. Don't ever.
Because your Cyclones are falling off because of injury.
Yeah. Cyclones looking bad.
You already got St. John's up.
Yeah, moved up.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and just tell me because I'm not gonna get this one.
All right, coming in with a record 23-6. I think they've been snubbed a little bit on their pole positioning in the AP and the coaches. So I give Louisville some love and have them at my damn number 10 spot. Chucky Hepburn scored a career high 37 points on 9 for 11 from the field, 6 for 6 from 3 to lead Louisville to a victory over Pittsburgh Saturday night. What a game, Midnight Rider. I mean, what we call that around my way, he was on like popcorn. 9 for 11 and didn't miss from behind the stripe.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that boy was shooting. I mean, it was that old school basketball game where you get on fire. Remember that?
Yeah, NBA Jam.
Yeah, he was doing NBA Jam out there. I mean, damn. And then that was their only game they had this past week. Up next for Louisville is a West Coast trip. You know how we see what they're doing, man. Them West Coast trips, game 1 seems to be tough.
Yep.
And once we slow down a little bit, I am going to do some investigating and see what happened now that we have these West Coast teams in East Coast conferences, how the travel is affecting the team's win percentage. So I'm going to look into that, and I will have that on a future show. So they do a West Coast trip, Midnight Rider. They go to play Cal Wednesday night, 9 p.m. on ACC Network. And then they got Stanford Saturday at 2 p.m. on ESPNU. So my pick might be they either lose or have a tight one with California, and they win at Stanford. So
I can see that going either way. Because Cal's been game in the conference. They haven't the record doesn't show it, but they've been putting up a fight. I don't know what their record is, but I've seen them lose to a couple games. But I think it's gonna be interesting. What was I gonna say? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I know what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. Once we get into March Madness, we started talking about coaches, and I forgot this guy was here, but because of Jack and his poll, his top 10, I watch a lot of SEC basketball, and I forgot that Texas A&M is coached by Buzz Williams. That's another coach for me. I let my kid play for him, and that might be a topic later on. Top 4 college coaches you'd want to coach your kid.
I like that.
I think we've done it before. Probably 2 years ago during the pandemic. I mean, not 2 years ago, but yeah, probably 2 years ago because we did it on this show. I wasn't anywhere else. So yeah, just another topic we can throw out there just to give some thought to. Local. I know we just talked about the Terps real quick, but can we do a quick local wrap up?
I have a quick local wrap up. Yes, I do. In my local wrap up this week, I added a little bit more local to it. So I'm sure the Midnight Rider and some of our listeners might like my add-ons to the local roundup. The first name we're going to mention is the team's playing the best ball right now, and that's the Maryland Terrapins down in College Park, Maryland. Number 13 rank, I might say, Maryland Terrapins at a 22-7 record. as I said earlier about that Michigan State thing, they had a terrible loss to Michigan State in College Park Wednesday night, 58-55 on a buzzer beater. So that really stunk. Rodney Rice played 39 minutes, had 20 points, 2 steals, and 1 block. Derek Queen had 10 points and 10 rebounds in the loss. But, something we've been talking about, the Maryland team, is the bench. The bench is non-existent over there in Maryland. 4 of the starters played 38 minutes or more. That's unreal, dude. So Maryland really, but the thing is, all 5 of their starters only had 1 foul each, man. It seems like Maryland's the least fouling team in the league, man. I really want to look into that too. Make a note. Maryland fouls.
You want to know about Maryland?
Huh?
What do you want to know about Maryland? Team fouls?
Where they are in team fouls as far as ranking in the NCAA, because every time I look up, their starters all only have 1 foul, but they're playing 36, 38, 39 minutes a game. Well, they have no bench at Maryland.
I don't want to get too far ahead of you, but that problem that you're talking about showed up and reared its ugly head in their next matchup against Penn State. I know they struggled with Penn State, but part of the problem was Queen and Reese both were in foul trouble, so they had to rotate people around. And I think that's why that ball game was closer than it should have been.
Yep, so I did notice that game had way more fouls than usual.
Yep. You want team fouls, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Give me a second.
So Maryland defeated Penn State Saturday 68-64. Maryland was down 6 at the half, and I want to say Penn State spread that a little bit more in the second half. But, yeah, Derek Queen balled out, 23.6 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. Junior guard Jacoby Gillespie, he poured in 19 with 7 assists and 2 steals. I do like watching Gillespie play, and that's cool. I think he'll stay around. I don't think he's going to no draft. I think Queen might be going in the draft. I think he's gone. That's terrible, because if Queen would stay, this could be a top 5 team next year. I guarantee you that. Up next for Maryland, Wednesday night, number 17, Michigan. Michigan's a hot team too, so Maryland's got to be on their toes with them cats, man. That's at 6:30 on Big Ten Network. Wednesday, guys. Saturday, Northwestern comes to College Park for the season finale, 3 p.m. on Peacock. But I think a lot of you cats should get on over to College Park, fill them seats, and cheer them Terps on for their season finale in the Infinity Center, I believe it's still called. Next on my local rap is Georgetown Hoyas. Georgetown's battling. They're gonna stay above 500. I predicted them to be under 500 this year, but right now they're holding at a 16-13. I think they only got 2 games left, so they will be above 500. They lost to then number 20 Marquette 76-61. Epps, PV, Max, Burks all played 38 minutes. The bench only scored 7 points. This is the same thing Maryland's got going on. Lack of a bench at Georgetown. And it really shows at Georgetown, because some of these boys do get in foul trouble, and the bench people they don't put up shots, man. I don't get it. I think last week we saw the bench played 16 minutes and put up 3 shots. Man, 16 minutes, I'm putting up 25 shots. But I'm just joking about that. But they're just not. The bench ain't shooting. And they do. They got some, all-world players that got to get their shots, I guess. Midnight Rider, you got anything to add before I jump?
Yes. So Maryland averages 15.8 fouls per contest.
Sounds
makes
like
them the 78th team in the country when it comes to fouls per game.
78th team is in the lowest?
They're in the middle of the pack. So the lowest team in terms of fouls is the Creighton Ball Club. They only commit 11 fouls per ball game so far in 2020.
And what's the biggest?
Hold on, let's see. Now I'm gonna be scrolling. Because it's like 300 teams in college basketball.
Yeah, I know. I thought you could just hit the thing at the top and it would turn it around. That's what you do.
Denver averages 22.4.
So 7
That's
different.
I'm trying
Well,
to see
in the
if there's
middle of the
anybody.
pack. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
Ohio
they were
State
low.
is the highest bid conference team. They're at 19.6 fouls per ball game.
Okay. So it's not what I thought then. All right.
Well, no,
It
they're in the
sure
middle of
seemed
the pack.
like
That's
it's
not bad.
close, but it seemed like they just never had any fouls every time I looked at the box score. So Georgetown up next has Villanova tonight, 8 p.m. Maybe they can get a win over the Cats. And then Saturday, they got DePaul at 2 p.m. They should beat DePaul. So I wanted to do 5 local teams because there are 5 local teams doing pretty decent this year, but I only have time to do 3. The third team I'm going to talk about right now, pretty close to Midnight Riders' heart, talk about George Mason. George Mason, 22-7. They lost to Duquesne Saturday, 85-68. Jalen Haynes had 14.7 rebounds in the loss. The loss knocked them out of a tie for the regular season title right now. VCU is in first by 1 game with 2 to go. So George Mason needs VCU to get another loss so they can at least get a share of the regular season title. They got a tournament in that conference, Midnight Rider.
Yes, sir.
And only the
Yes,
winner
sir,
of
we
that
do.
tournament will go. So
In the past, they've gotten 2 or 3.
have they? That'd be nice if Mason gets in with Duquesne. What's Mason's nickname?
We're the Patriots.
Patriots, that's right. Yeah, no, it's nice to see them balling. 22-7 is very respectable. I do not have their next game on here. Something came up. I had to get into it. So I will have a further update on George Mason and them other 2 local teams I didn't get into next week. All right.
Cool.
So,
Hey, just a random thought or a random note because you had me go to what we call the Harry Stamper report, where we drill down deep on information and give you as much information as possible. Maryland's fouls per possession, the percentage is on 21. Where'd they go? 21.8% of their possessions or the other team's possessions do they commit fouls. So they're not they're not a team that fouls a lot. Is the simplest way to put this.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Yeah, so you're right in that aspect.
Got you. Good.
Comments real quick. 2 quick ones. I think you already know who this is. Jada, Maryland starters are good but have no bench.
None.
And then Screams no bench. And
None.
I think Georgetown, I don't think they're 16-13 if the big guy Sorter doesn't get hurt. I think if that kid is healthy, Georgetown finishes out a little bit better than the way they did this season.
Well, I mean, if they can get 2 more wins, that would be 18-13. That's NIT-able.
Right.
If they lose or split, they could be on the bubble for the NIT.
I think if they can get lucky because I don't think they're that bad, and since there's a lot of teams that they try to put in the postseason play, I think they got a chance. I think they'd have to be under 500 for them not to have a chance at the tournament.
Gotcha. Well, they're going to finish. They're going to finish above regardless.
Right.
Okay.
And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we just gave you the JC top 10. We told you about Kyrie. We did our question of the night. We gave you the Nats O's update. Last thing we're going to finish up with before we get out of here is just a real quick, just some news and notes from the NFL that came out today throughout the course of the day. First thing that stood out to me, news and notes wise, is the franchise tag. That was a big thing today. We found out that Trey Smith from Kansas City, the offensive guard, T. Higgins, the wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals, were the only 2 people that were tagged. The rumor has it that Sam Darnold is working on a deal, probably a short-term deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Any thoughts on any of that real quick, Jack?
I was surprised to hear the Vikings might be working on a deal. I thought they were just going to go with McCarthy, and who I think is going to be a fine quarterback in this league. I was high on him at the draft. I really wanted Washington to pick him, but I'm happy with Daniels. So
Don't say
I
it.
guess I'll take Daniels. So, but I do. I like McCarthy's game. I've seen him play live twice. He's just a stand-up passer, man. He's a Peyton Manning is what I don't want to say he's going to have the stats of the career, but his game reminds me of Peyton Manning. I don't know. I didn't see much. I'm still catching up on some combine stuff just to get it up here, but
one of the War Daddies of the combine that we didn't mention on Saturday, the running back from Virginia Tech, Bastian Tuten, he ran like a low 4.3, 40.
Yeah. With my notes, I had it. Yeah, I know who that is. I had that written down on my desk. Here it is. Hey, I just reconfigured my desk, man. I got new equipment on it. I don't know what's going on here. It's like
you knocked stuff over last week.
It's like going into a Holiday Inn, dude. I don't know where I'm at. That boy, last name Kentne. He ran a 4.29.
Is that the two stars of the weekend from the receiver standpoint was the Nolan kid, and I forgot the other kid from Iowa State. Both wide receivers. They ran collectively, I think they were under 4.3.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Collectively, they was under 4.35.
Well, that defensive back, Maxwell Harrison, ran a 4.3.
Harrison ran a 4.28 on the second run.
Oh, I didn't see a second one. Okay.
And
you can see too, when somebody's rolling.
And if Commanders fans saw one of the latest mocks, they actually mocked Harrison to the Commanders on one of them. So
really,
I think that's how he got on a lot of people's radar in the local area. He was one of the few guys that got moved to or put to us. Anything else stand out to you from the combine that you can think of?
No, not right offhand. It's been nice, and like you said, like I said the other day, man, these defensive guys are just so fast and explosive nowadays, man. You're like we seen linemen and linebackers run 4.7s and 4.6s.
Yep.
Unreal. And you get a linebacker that can run a 4.6, 4.5. That's a sideline to sideline linebacker. That's a Ray Lewis. Mm-hmm. And I don't put Ray in as comparisons to too many people, but that's what kind of linebacker Ray was, sideline to sideline. And I think we got something like that coming, man. I think the defense and the running backs are going to be the stars of this class.
Well, let's hit Jack real quick. Jack says Matthew Stafford back to the Rams. Yeah, that was crazy because at one point in the 48-hour window, he was going to New York.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much almost a done deal. He already signed. He already had the contract numbers that he wanted. The only thing they had to do was work out the compensation, and I guess that didn't end up happening. We had Saquon get him a bag today.
Yeah, he did.
The extension, 40.
How many?
1 million.
How many years?
2 additional years.
Okay.
So he's got. I can't remember what he signed initially with them. So if he signed a 2-year, he got 2 added to that. If he signed a 3-year, he's now out another 2 years. But basically, he got $20 million up front and extra cash. So he's living a good life.
Yep,
having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything else that I can think of from that group? Oh, Devontae Adams. Basically, is going to be released by the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think they were going to get anything for him. I think he and Aaron, I guess if they're going to take their tag team show on the road or whatever.
Well, somebody's going to pick up Devontae, though.
Yeah, definitely. Jack says I'm sorry, J-Dub says he deserves every dollar. Saquon is that dude. Totally agree.
Give me that KG. Give me that KG comment real quick.
I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna end out on that.
Okay, because I got something to go with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish up on this and then try to walk out.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Jack, if we don't have anything else, let's go ahead and hit KG's comment.
It's been a great show, man. Good job, partner.
Nah, good job to you, man. In light of us talking about March Madness, one of the tragedies and one of the things I guess we were cheated from probably was going to be one of the biggest what ifs in college hoops lore is the fact that 35 years ago, we lost Hank Gathers.
That's a long time.
Brother passed out on the court. I think it was a heart attack. I don't want to speculate. I mean, I know it's already happened, but I don't remember exactly the details of it.
You're right.
That team goes on. I think they make it to the Sweet 16 at least. They maybe make it a little bit further with Bo Kimball.
It is.
In the free throws. Yep.
I had it.
That Loyola Marymount team was probably one of the more talented teams, and I think we got cheated a little bit. I think KG just wants to. He likes these conversations.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. He gives me. I knew he was gonna know it. It was an Elite 8 run, so I think that team was very talented. I think if he's there, I think that might be a Final Four team.
Oh, that team was talented before they were even noticed. They didn't get noticed till 3/4 of the way through that season.
Totally agree.
That's when all the Hank love started, and it was big too. Hank Gathers was being big because that's back what? Wasn't UNLV running Rebels back then?
Yeah, that's in that time frame.
It was big. Duke was big, repeating in the 90s. So for them to get Hank up on the spotlight was, something. And then to have him pass after that, to not continue to be in the spotlight and thrive and see him at the next level. Because Hank was going to succeed at the next level, bro.
Yeah,
he was that kind of player.
He was built for it.
Oh, definitely. He was a man playing a boys' game in college is what I thought. Larry Johnson was the same way. They look like grown-ass men.
Yeah, I mean, KG, again, he led the country in points per game and rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
J-Dub, rest in peace, Hank Gathers. Just think if the Celtics would have had Hank and Len Bias on the same team. We don't want to think about that.
Oh, just having Lenny, man, God, that would have given Larry Bird at least 3 more seasons.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have to push the back. I totally agree on that.
And he would have been, he would have been gladly teaching Lenny, man.
Yeah, definitely. All right, folks. Well, we've come to the end of a show. The dynamic duo has done our best to entertain you.
Always.
We appreciate everybody in the comments. If I miss your name, I apologize. Off the top of my head, Ricker, Peacock, Myrick, JoJo, J-Dub, James King.
Everybody, baby.
Yeah, just say everybody. It's easier for
me. I like it. I love when our people come on and interact. It makes our show better. It actually makes our show go 30 minutes over. If we just did this show and didn't have comments, we'd be done in 50 minutes.
I don't know.
I love the comments.
Yeah, but I totally do too. And it gives you a different perspective because sometimes somebody always will say something that you're not even thinking about. Real quick, KG finishing up on Hank, 6'7" and can shoot the lights out and bang the threes. And then here we go. J-Dub, always a great show. Fellas, keep doing a great job. J-Dub, keep being in the comments. Keep helping us out. To everybody in Sideline Junkies Land Podcast Network.
Well, let me I tell you, Jack Wagner, he got J-Dub's one of his nicknames. He got another nickname. It's Lil Fat. He Lil Fat. I'm Big Fat. Straight up. That's what that's like we wasn't into breakdancing or nothing, but that's back when the nicknames were coming around. And then you be able to go and shit, man. You hear Rare Essence or Junkyard or something talk about Big Fat in the house, and it was just funny, man. Yeah, we had our own little nicknames, Big Fat, Little Fat.
All right.
There he is. That's my dog. And it makes me happy to see you guys coming in here, supporting me and my junkies, man. We love it. This network is blowing up, y'all. We're adding shows. We got people. I mean, you think it's just us on the air? Nah, we got other shows. So go to Sideline Junkies Podcast Network Facebook page, and you can see every show that the network puts out. So please like, follow, subscribe. We need subscriptions on YouTube, please. So do it up. Click, 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 click.
And if you a person that only likes the audio medium, you got Spotify, you have Odyssey. You can get us there as well. Yeah. And if you need to know the lineup, is real quick. Tonight, Tuesday night flight. Tomorrow in the passenger seat. Thursday, the Thursday night throwdown. Saturday morning, you got two shows. You got the Gridiron, which is the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig. In the world,
Craig.
Saturday night, we got the WrestleManiacs. Sunday morning, we got the Sunday Rise. And then we started all over again with the drive time kicking us off on Monday with Matty Ice at about 5 o'clock. So
Matty's doing a great job. He's doing solo dolo. It's just him by himself. He is doing a great job. He's not even over here in the DMV, man. Matty up north. Matty's from Cleveland.
Yep.
He knows hockey. He knows baseball. Matty's very, very well full of knowledge. So I recommend his show on Mondays. And you can put that stuff on in the car with the Odyssey or the Spotify app and just listening to it on your 35-minute ride home or whatever. So that's always something you can do.
Dougie. And he's the reason why Ward 34 in Maryland keep up the great content. Dougie, thanks as always.
Thanks, Doug.
Tomorrow.
Hey, Doug.
Guess.
Hey, Doug, we got. Oh, you're gonna do that?
No, I'm letting you do it.
Oh, okay. Hey, Dougie, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., we got somebody riding in the passenger seat. You probably know. Now, a lot of my followers, junkie followers, know this guy. Legendary coach, legendary youth football coach. I mean, he rejuvenated Bowie's program. He rejuvenated Crofton's program. And before that, he rejuvenated his hometown program in New Carrollton, Maryland. This is going to be Ricky Peacock is going to be in the passenger seat with me and the Midnight Rider tomorrow night. If you don't know about Rick Peacock, Google him. Because I'm telling you, his coaching resume blew my mind. And I thought our buddy Mark Wilson had a hell of a resume, but Coach Peacock's right up there with him, Midnight Rider. It's going to be a good one tomorrow, partner.
Take us out, Jack.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network for dealing with me. and we're going to get on out of here. We don't do no overtime, fellas. We are out of here.